Good afternoon, evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Drop Zone with your boys Anthony Young and Jeff Walsh. What's up, buddy? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. As you see, I'm back from Pittsburgh. Safe travels to and from. Pittsburgh wins. I'm doing all right. That definitely feels good to be back home. I will say it does feel a bit weird when you sleep in somebody else's house, uh, being an Airbnb. But it was a good stay. But I am glad to be back here doing this with you. How are you doing?
uh, Not too bad. I mean, it was a busy weekend for us, but other than that, pretty good. Still fighting this cold, but outside of that, yeah,
Yeah, it's that season for all the colds and stomach crap. So thankfully, it is only just a cold for you.
yeah, pretty much. So what we got on the docket today.
Pretty much this is all NFL news. Really, nothing else happened in the world. I mean, a few injuries in basketball. Wembanyama's out for a little bit. A few other players are as well, but that's not really our main focus. Again, NBA, we love NBA, but NFL season is in mid-season form, so we will be talking a lot about that. We got a lot of the NFL games that uh caught my attention or our attention. I mean, I have a dummy and you have a dummy of the week. So, um,
Ooh,
and then
double
we then
dummies.
we do our pick'ems. Yep.
I can't wait to hear who your dummy of the week is.
hmm so we'll just get right into it because I'll get mine out of the way fairly quickly. So again, the game I went to, the Bengals and the Steelers, 12 to 34. Joe Flacco 23 of 40, 199, one touchdown, one interception. Chase Brown, 18 carries, 99 yards, 628 yards. T. Higgins caught a receiving touchdown and 63 yards receiving. Noah Fant, 5 receptions, 36 yards and a fumble. And Jamar Chase, 3 receptions, 30 yards, and a Hakalugi. That was his game performance. I'll get more into that after I talk about the actual game. Uh, Aaron Rodgers, 9 for 15, 116, one touchdown. He left the game with a wrist injury, did not return. So that meant Mason Rudolph came in the game. He went 12 for 16, 127, and a touchdown. Jalen Warren, he left with an injury as well. He had 10 carries for 62 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, he had a great game for us. That was amazing of him. 9 carries for 24 yards, but he also had 7 receptions for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. Darnell Washington, one of my favorite players on the team now, 4 receptions, 67 yards. DK had 49 yards receiving, and Kyle Duggar had a 74-yard interception return for a touchdown, and James Pierre had a 34 fumble recovery for a touchdown. Now, again, being at this game, I can tell you, the crowd was very electric. And when Aaron Rodgers went out, I was like, damn, like, that kind of sucks. But the response for Mason Rudolph was actually very surprising to me. People were cheering, very happy when he came in, and he made an immediate impact. We were able to move the ball down the field, and it wasn't just little short dump off passes, and the offense was a lot better. Aaron Rodgers does not have a break in his wrist, so he's very hardly trying to push to play this upcoming week against the Bears. Our defense looked really good. I'm happy about that because again, Joe Flacco really did carve us up last time. So I'm happy that we were able to stop that high-powered offense. I really am. I'll get into the other part of it in a second, but I just want to hear your thoughts on the game. I don't know if you watched it at all.
Actually, I didn't get a chance to watch it because, like we were talking about earlier, we had that major event at work. So yeah, I had to work Sunday. Um, but I did see some of the highlights, and yeah, the fact that it had to be a Mason Rudolph sighting, it was kind of hilarious, but nice at the same time because y'all looks like y'all really didn't miss much with Rogers going out. He was still able to move the ball and stuff like that. It wasn't like you were stuck with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
So that means shows that it was a good thing that he was able to move the ball and stuff. Um, then I did, I mean, I didn't see it, but I got of course, a alert from ESPN, which is going. I'm going to lead into you about Jamar Chase getting suspended for one game. At first, I didn't know what it was for because I just glanced at my phone. But when I really did finally actually read it and said what it was for, I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" So I'm gonna lead into you for your segment with that right there, and let you have the floor.
Again, Chase and Rams have they're going at all game long. Ramsey hit him late after a play. The refs didn't call it. That's how Ramsey plays. He's like a Draymond Green of the NFL. If no one's ever really watched the NFL, but they watch NBA, he's a Draymond Green of the NFL. He does definitely push the boundaries of what he can do. He's one of the best trash talkers in the NFL, and that's what he was doing to Chase all day long. The play before all this happened, they got into a scuffle. Both players got unsportsmanlike conduct. They were warned, and the Bengals tried to have the Steelers jump offsides because it was a 4th and 1. They had a call timeout. Chase and Ramsey get into it again, but as they're talking, Jamar Chase spits right on Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey grabbed his face mask. You could say punch. It was more of a mush in the face. I mean, Ramsey was smart in that aspect because if he really wanted to punch him that hard, he would have probably snapped his wrist because Chase had his helmet on. Um, and a big scuffle ensues, and Ramsey tries to keep getting at Chase. Ramsey gets ejected. Now in the stadium, we obviously didn't see the spit. We just saw the scuffle, and we expected both of them to be ejected, but only Ramsey was. I do not understand how no refs saw the spit. They saw Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott. How do you not see an even larger spit goop that left Jamar Chase's mouth and hit Jalen Ramsey? Now, that's one of the most disgusting and dehumanizing things that you could do to a human because you're pretty much telling them, I respect you as much as I respect the ground that we walk on because I spit on it too. Number two, I do not understand why we need to spit on each other when when we're talking smack. I don't care unless it was something about Chase's family. Even then, like you don't spit on somebody. You would then push them, shove them, hit them. You don't spit on them. Now, I think the NFL got it wrong with the 1 game suspension. If I was them, I would have done bare minimum 2, maybe even 3, to really prove a point to these players. We will not tolerate spitting on you, which is crazy. Like it's like you're explaining this to an 8-year-old child. No spitting on anybody. Remember that. No spitting on anybody. Like no, these are grown men and they're spitting on each other. Uh, Jamar just this 1 game, he's losing out on about almost $600,000 for being suspended this one game. That's why I would have made it 2 or 3, so then they can be a nice whopping $1.5 million to really just be like, I don't care who you are, who you think you are. We're gonna suspend you, and we're gonna make an example out of you now. Because if you want to do something so stupid and so selfish enough that you want to put your team in that situation, then yeah, we will make an example out of you. And the fact that Jamar's still denying it, he said it in his post-game interview that he never opened his mouth to Jalen Ramsey, he never spit on him, and now he's pretty much tripling down and saying, I never spit on him. Like he's appealing the suspension.
Hey, Brian.
I I don't get it. I know if anybody spit on me, I would react pretty much how Ramsey reacted. Um, it's just I don't want to go too in on Jamar Chase, because he's not this kind of player. He's not this kind of person, as we've seen. He's never had anything like this in his career. So I'm not gonna let one bad moment define him. But still, you cannot act like that as one of the top players in the league that all these kids are looking up to. That wear your jersey all the time, and they see you spit on people. Again, I would have given him 3 games. I'd feel the same way if anybody did it in the league. We need to set an example of and just make an example out of these guys who think it's all right to do that to another human being. Um, that's my take on it. I think that they dropped the ball with it a little bit. I would have, again, I would just made an example out of them. Be like, listen, you want to put yourself and your team in this situation? There you go. Here's 3 games for you.
Um, 3 games would be kind of harsh, considering we started the season off with Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott and only getting 1 game. But for Chase to say that he didn't, I mean, it was kind of blown up. They blew up the actual still picture of it, and you could see some saliva coming out of his mouth. Now, was it intentional? We don't know. We wasn't there. Neither one of us was on the field at that time to see what happened. Um, I don't think it was as blatant as the Jalen Carter incident and Dak Prescott incident. Um, where that was before the game started. All the referees were in one spot, and I mean that was clear. They could see that clear as day. You're talking about in the middle of a game. You know, the referees are scattered throughout the field. It's easy for them to have missed it. Apparently he. I mean, like I said, apparently he had to because apparently New York was the one that issued the fine. So it must have been enough for him to say, "Well, you spit on him," in point blank. Like you said, he's never had a history of this. So I'm thinking this probably was an isolated incident. And like I said, it could have been just because you know how sometimes some people talk and spit does fly out their mouth
Oh no
unintentionally.
no 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 no. Tony, I don't know if you've seen the video of it. It is blatant, blatant. He spit on him on purpose. They are about face to face, like they're like this close, and he just and you see his head kind of tilt like this. He goes like that, like he tilts his head up and kind of spits towards him.
Okay.
It, Tony, it was not a little ball of spit. It was like a long strand of spit. Like, it was huge. It was a huge thing of spit. I'm gonna because it's an alternate angle because the broadcast obviously only has the one shot, but someone sitting on the other side of it took a video of it, and it's a big strand of spit.
Well, like I said,
I'm gonna
for New York to be the one to issue the fine immediately, I mean, obviously he had to do it.
yeah. Again, I mean, they got a hold of this video, and it's Dan, it's very clear and obvious uh, what happened, and
Yeah,
hopefully,
I just don't understand the whole spitting on people thing to begin with. Is just
I mean, I sent it to you. Hopefully, it loads and plays. Um, it's it's just gross. It's really gross. Um, and so I've never even thought about doing to anybody. As much as I hate some people, I don't want to be around some people. I get into words and heated exchanges with some people.
hold
It's
on.
never,
Let me see if I can pull it up.
mhm, it's never something I've ever thought about doing to another human because it's really, again, one disgusting, but just one of the worst things that you could do to somebody. And I get, again, is 3 games a bit harsh? Is 2 games a bit harsh? Maybe, but again, we got to start setting an example and a precedent of, listen, we're not tolerating this sort of behavior in a season where the NFL
Okay,
has really, sorry,
hold on.
you're
I got it. I'm gonna share the screen just so people can see it.
hmm Yeah, this season where the NFL has taken sportsmanship really seriously, and they did it at the beginning of the season, in the off season of like, hey, we are taking sportsmanship seriously now, and
Oh yeah,
it was actually get actually really thing. They don't want to make it.
yeah. That was Thursday.
That was a decent loogie spit. That was no little kind of small ball spit like if you're talking.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know how he could defend himself and say he didn't spit on him.
yeah, that was right there. Um so yeah, I mean again, the 1 game, fine. But he's still appealing it. I don't know. I would suspend him a second game just because of that he's lying. Like, dude, like just admit it. The whole world's seen it now. There's no denying that you spit on him. Um, again, to say in the post compressor, I didn't spit on him. And the thing is, Jalen Carter is handling himself a lot, or he handles himself a lot better after doing that to Dak than what Chase is doing right now. Carter, in his post-game presser, said, "I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry. Tell my teammates not to put them in that situation. It would never happen again." Whereas Jamar Chase is saying, "I didn't do it," when clearly he did
He
it. He's
did.
not owning up to his mistake, um, which is a character problem. And again, do you want to lie and tell us that you didn't do it? I would sit him down in my office in New York if I was one of them and be like, "You're gonna appeal this, really? Really? You're gonna appeal this?" And show him the video of him spitting on him. Uh, Ramsey hasn't gotten suspended, no fines handed down from the league from him because I think they realize, yeah, he got spit on. Never mind. You shouldn't have been ejected anyway because Chase started it with the spit. So that's what I got on that. Again, I think it's just gross. It's gross. It's stupid. He is my dead dummy of the week for sure because clearly he didn't learn from what happened with Jalen Carter.
I agree.
All right, game number two, Bucks and the Bills. My guy Baker didn't have his best game really. Whereas Josh Allen had a crazy bounce back game uh, against these Bucks after putting up a dud against the Dolphins last week. Uh, Baker, 16-20, 173, one touchdown, one reception, 5 carries, 39, and a fumble. Sean Tucker, their third string running back, had 19 carries, 106, 2 touchdowns. He also had a receiving touchdown. And Sterling Shepard, you know Sterling Shepard, Tony, remember
Yep.
him?
Ex-Giant.
Yep. He had 4 receptions for 54 yards. Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns. He went 19 for 30, 317, and 3 touchdowns, but he had 2 interceptions as well. If again he's starting to turn the ball over a lot, people, that's something to be a bit worried about. James Cook, 16 carries, 46 yards, 3 receptions, 66 yards, and touchdown. Tyrell Shavers had a receiving touchdown, and Ty Johnson also had a receiving touchdown. And a keynote on this game, Keon Coleman did not play due to a coach's decision. This is his second time this year, or it happened last year too. He missed team meeting on Friday, which led to the coaches saying, "You're not playing," which is another idiot, absolute dummy. So this game was really up and down. Again, we kept getting the scorer updates on the jumbotron. It kept going back and forth, back and forth. Josh Allen is very inconsistent this year, along with this whole Bills team. Um, I mean, they're 7-3, but they don't play like it sometimes. Uh, this is his second time doing it in his NFL career, throwing and passing for 3 touchdowns each. There's only one other person to ever do that in the NFL. And that was back in like 19 something. Um, and the Bucks, I'm very conflicted on as well. I mean, they were really on a good stretch, and I understand they got a shit ton of injuries, an absolute boatload of injuries right now as a wide receiver. But that's a lot but that's a lot of teams right now. A lot of teams are dealing with a bunch of injuries. You still got to go out there and play. I'm not making an excuse for Baker as much as he's my guy. I'm not making an excuse, but the Bucks are very injury ridden. I mean, they don't have Bucky Irving right now, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, a bunch of other guys out there on the offensive end. So it's a bit tough for them to create offense consistently. But Baker probably does need to play a lot better. Again, only 173 passing yards and 1 touchdown, whereas Josh Allen had 317 and 3 touchdowns. So Bills get another win to kind of stay close to the Patriots in the AFC East, but again, I think that the Patriots are actually the way better team in my opinion.
Um, yeah, this game was kind of crazy. I mean, they already had combined for what was it, over 40 points in the first half,
Mm-hmm.
which is like basically they was playing 7-on-7. They just basically told the defense to sit down for a while. because that's what it seemed like. Um, yeah, the injuries are starting to show effect on the Bucks. You know, missing Godwin, Evans, Irvin, and I think they are down another receiver too, but I'm not 100% sure. But they're still finding a way to stay in the games. Um, the Bucks defense just they're starting to remind me of the Steelers, where one week they'll show up, another week they don't show up. And last week they pretty much didn't show up. Josh Allen, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. Again, he's making his claim for MVP. The Bills' offense finally decided to show up for work for once. But yeah, I just think the last 2 weeks were basically, especially last week getting beat. I think it was beat by Miami.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that they probably held a team meeting and was like, "What are we doing here? We're letting this scrubby team beat us." So now again, we have to see if they're going to continue playing this way or play like the Bills play, where they play down to their level up opponent's level. So I mean, not to say anything bad about the Bucks, because the Bucks are a very good team. It just seems like they gear up for the good teams and sleepwalk through the teams they're supposed to beat.
Mhm. So, again, this team has been too inconsistent. Josh Allen's been too inconsistent. Yes, he's one of the best QBs in the NFL. I do not think he's the MVP this year. I'd give it to Stafford, Taylor, or somebody else over him because he's been way too inconsistent this year. Now, next game is the Panthers and Falcons. Didn't think I'd be talking about this game. At least the Falcons didn't get shut out this time, like they did last time. But they still gave up 30, and Bryce Young had a career high in passing. 448 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. That is very impressive from Bryce Young. Or is it more impressive that the Falcons defense gave up that much? I think both. Rico Dowdle had 19 carries for 45 yards, 5 receptions for 55. Terrell McMillan, 8 receptions for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Xavier Legette, 4 receptions for 83 yards and touchdown. Michael Penix, very bad injury news for him. 13 for 16, 175. He left the game with a knee injury and did not return. It is now known that he has damage to his ACL and will miss the rest of the season. So Kirk Cousins will be their starting QB going forward. And Bijan Robinson, 23 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 39 yards. Tyler Rozier had a rushing touchdown, and Drake London, who also left this game with an injury, had 7 receptions for 119 yards. This Panthers team is sneaky, man. It is very sneaky, and I think you called it in our prediction video that they could be a good team. They could be definitely a sneaky good team. We just had a lot of question marks about Bryce Young. Um, and he hasn't needed to really lead this team too much, but he was able to this week. In a lot of weeks he ends with 135 passing yards, 100 just barely over 100 passing yards, but they get Rico Dowdle involved and they get a win. This week he really took it by the throat and said, "Listen, I'm gonna take over this offense," and he did, and he did a great job of it. Not turning the ball over, not putting in bad spots, uh, letting his defense rest, and you know, it was a great game from him. Hopefully, there's more to come from him out of this because we need to see this out of Bryce Young. You know, being as high of a draft pick as he was, he's not really showing it consistently right now. Um, but again, they have a great core there, a great young core. So they are an issue right now, and a lot of people need to kind of watch out for them because they're 6-5 now. Uh, and that's a bit dangerous there in the NFC with how every other team is kind of in the middle right now.
Um, yeah, I had this team as one of my sleeper teams, and they're starting to show why. Um, Bryce Young is he's one of those quarterbacks where we don't need him to be a superstar quarterback. He has weapons. They got a great running game. We just need him. They just need him to protect the ball and not make stupid mistakes. And that's what he's been pretty much doing all season. Yeah, that's all I got for that one.
Okay, I don't know if you were leading into anything.
The
Falcons three and
Falcons,
seven.
the Falcons are just horrible.
Again, that was one of your sleeper teams too. You kind of gotta eat that one. You thought that you thought they were gonna be a lot better. I was like, no, they're not. I was like, I don't trust them at all, and this is the reason why. Um, Now into your game this week. The Packers and the Giants, 27-20. Jordan Love went 13-24, 174, two touchdowns. He left the game with a shoulder injury, did return. So that meant Malik Willis came in. He went 2 for 2, 6 yards and a touchdown. He also had a 16-yard rush. I mean, Wilson, 11 carries for 40 yards. Josh Jacobs, he left with injury as well. With a knee injury, he's questionable to play. He has 7 carries for 40 yards. Romeo Dobbs, 53 receiving yards, and Christian Watson had 2 receiving touchdowns. Jameis Winston, Jameis. 19 for 29, 201, one reception, 3 carries for 10 yards and a touchdown. Tyrone Tracy, 19 carries, 88 yards, and 4 receptions for 51. 16 carries for Devin Singletary for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Isaiah Hodgins was the leading receiver with 5 receptions for 57 yards. Now, I think that you probably didn't get to watch this game, but I will ask you anyway. First, what are your thoughts on this game? Again, James Winston starting and place Jackson Dart. Uh, Probably looked a lot better than if Russell Wilson was in the game, that's for sure.
A lot better. Um, as you can see, they're getting the running game going. You know, as a team, they had over 100 yards rushing, and the offense is not as stale with Winston or Dart starting as it is when Wilson is starting. The offense is more lively. It's almost like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that type of offense.
Hmm.
Um, Again, I mean, I can't say much bad about the offense. I mean, yes, Winston threw an interception, but that's notorious with him. That's something you have to learn to expect. He's going to make great plays, but somewhere along the line, there's going to be an interception involved in that great play. My question is, why isn't the defensive coordinator fired yet? Because it's clear that in this game, the type of defense that he was calling is what caused the Giants to lose this game. I mean, yeah, it was a close game all game. And at one point, I think it was 13-16, and Green Bay goes up and scores a touchdown. And The Giants answered right back with a touchdown of their own to make it 2019. And once again, the defense could not stop anybody when it was just like 4 minutes left to play. So we already knew that Brian Dable was the issue with the offense. He's gone. Kafka, the offense with Winston. He chose Winston over Wilson. I mean, the offense looked more lively, and it was more. They had the offense seemed to have more fun and more of an urgency. Where under Wilson there was no urgency, there was no fun. It was basic, like it was running like basic plays, and now we see that the offense can move the ball and put the ball in the end zone. Now we're seeing that it's on the defensive side where they're not stopping anybody. I mean, you have a great front seven, which should be able to get pressure on a quarterback, stop the run. The problem is, and I mean, yes, some people's going to say, well, it came down to this one play where Flopman's timed his jump and missed on an interception. Okay, yeah, that, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but Jordan Love basically just threw a ball up for just grabs.
Like he always does. He always does this shit. He does that at least once a game.
It was a ball thrown up for grabs. Flott had a chance to intercept it and mistimed his jump. And it was completed, and that's what gave them the go ahead touchdown. Remind you, that was on third down.
Hmm.
So, like I said, I mean, they did keep the defensive coordinator. He's still, they haven't gotten rid of him yet. On a side note, Duke Carter was benched to start the game. He violated some team policy. I think he was late to walk-arounds or something. I didn't get the full story. I just seen that they said he was benched and to start the game. For Kafka, which is a good sign because he's trying to get the coaching job because he's only an interim coach. So he's trying to establish a culture there and stuff like that. So I have nothing against him doing that. I mean, if you can't show up for walkthroughs or whatever it was on time, hey, you got to suffer the consequences. Jackson Dart is expected to be back this Sunday, and I do believe Winston will be the number two quarterback. So yeah, I think they're officially done with Russell Wilson.
I mean, as they should be. Again, like you said, there's no life, no energy, no real sense of urgency, no care in the offense when Russell Wilson starts. On Abdul Carter, yes, he missed. He slept through during walkthroughs, which is why they sat him at the beginning of the game. Which is again, it's good to again, um, discipline these players, no matter how good or how young they are. It is definitely good to do that being an NFL coach. Your defense, I get it. I was screaming at my TV a few weeks ago. I came on here screaming at my at this camera when we played the Bengals last time, and we kept running man coverage against the Bengals, and it wasn't working, and we didn't change it up. You guys, like you said, have a lot of talent. You guys are way too talented on the defensive end, especially in the front seven, to be giving up these leads in the fourth quarter. It wasn't a 10-point lead this time, but it was still a lead in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love, again, he will do his absolute best to give other teams the chance to win. To throwing up those random jump balls, just somebody's down there, whether it's the opposing team or his team. Yeah, I'm not high on Jordan Love. I'm not sold on Jordan Love. He played your Giants. No offense, not the greatest team, but again, still had a chance to win, even with Jameis Winston. Again, he'll give you the 50-50 of the. He had an interception, but he also had a touchdown. Whereas if Russ started, I don't see you guys scoring more than 10.
10. I don't even see us scoring more than 6.
There you go. So at least you guys really had a shot at the end to win it. Russ, it sucks that he's had to deal with these past 5 years because if he just retired after leaving Seattle, we'd be talking about him a lot differently. But it's been a very bad stretch for him in these past 5 years. Um, Again, if your Giants can at least just stay competitive, and again, if Jackson Dart comes back, again, I'd be a bit nervous about that one. I'd tell him to slide, 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 please slide. Don't get hit because if he gets 5 in 1 year, we don't need another Tua. We really don't.
No, we
We don't
don't.
need that. So he's way too talented, way too young, way too just filled with so much potential. We do not need that being tarnished because he just won't slide. And now again, he doesn't have a lame duck head coach that is trying to save his job and it's gonna run fucking QB power every play and be like, here you go, Dart, make me look good. No, run actual offense. Don't make Dart do everything because that's not fair to him. And as we're saying, it only gets him hurt right now.
Now, what I will say is impressive that they're doing this is with Scatterable hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So you're missing two big weapons. Slayton is a hit or miss. So, I mean, the fact that they're doing this with, basically on a normal team, they'll be like the fourth or fifth wide receivers, maybe a third wide receiver. It's kind of impressive.
So Wandale Robinson stepped up in a big way. Theo Johnson stepped up in a big way. Isaiah Hodgins, again, as I mentioned, he stepped up in a big way. You guys have young players stepping up here all over the place in the absence. And I have a friend at work, Frank. He's a Giants fan. I tell him, like, you guys have a lot of potential next year when everybody comes back. Just don't rush them back. Let them heal. Let them get back on the field naturally, and don't like get them back too quick. Can you guys have a lot of potential next year? The defense needs to be figured out a little bit. Again, you guys front seven wise, amazing. Back half wise, very questionable there at times. Um, but a lot of potential for the Giants, which is kind of weird to say. After all these years of kind of mediocrity.
I mean, if we could get two shutdown corners and move Flott to the nickel position, that secondary will be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Just
you got
that has to happen.
because you got
That just
Holland and
has.
Nubin at the safety spots, and those two have been great. I mean, they've been great. I mean, they're not the Ed Reed type safeties, but there are safeties that very rarely get beat. You just need two shutdown corners that you can put on the field to match them and move Flott to the nickel position, and then you can let that pass rush just go.
Yeah, I mean, that's their issue. They have to play back a lot of times, which the pass rush isn't allowed to really go as we or as they should. Again, and shutdown corners are definitely hard to find in the league now because these wide receivers are so talented. So, but yeah, if you guys can shore up that secondary, you guys will be set for next year. That's for sure, in the long time coming. Probably the game of the week, on paper wise, in the NFC, the Seahawks and Rams. It led to a 19-21 win for the Rams, only a 2-point win. Sam Darnold looked like the New York Jets. Sam Darnold. I'm not going to shout him too hard because he has played on the MVP level for the Seahawks. I'm not making one game uh, laughing stock out of him. I will not do that. Ernest Jones, his teammate, spoke on that in the media. Listen, he's my QB. What do you want to say about him? Fuck you, because he's my QB and he's a great QB. He is. He's playing really good this year. I will not shit on him. He had 4 interceptions on 27 yards passing. Kenneth Walker, 6-7 yards rushing and a touchdown. JSN had 105 receiving yards, and AJ Barner, their tight end, had 10 receptions for 70 yards. Matthew Stafford, another MVP candidate, had went 15 for 28, 130, and 2 touchdowns. It's definitely a very defensive-minded game, which is kind of what we expected. Even though these two QBs have been playing at such a high level, these defenses have also been playing at a huge and high level, and it showed up in this game. Kyren Williams had 91 rushing yards and a touchdown. Puka Nacua had 7 receptions for 75 yards. Kobe Parkinson and Devontae Adams also had over a touchdown each for the Rams. Um, Again, Rams to me best team in the NFL, not just the NFC, but I'm saying the NFL right now. They are absolutely dialed in. They are balanced on both ends, offensively and defensively. Um, we had Stafford playing at the MVP level. He's got so many weapons there. And with the Seahawks, I still see them as one of the best teams in the NFL as well. It was just one bad game. Sam Darnold seems to do pretty bad against the Rams for some reason. I don't understand what it is. He did this last year against them when he was on the Vikings. Uh, Again, just a very tough game. Again, I don't see it as a bad sign for him. I see it a tough game. The opponent has his numbers somehow. They just know how to play him. And again, it's just one bad game in the season of 10 other games where he's played really well. So I'm not going to take anything away from it, and he still had a chance to win this game. It's just his kicker missed the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, if you take away the 4 interceptions, I think the Seahawks win this game.
hmm If he only has like one or two, they might win this game.
I mean, let's face it. It's hard to overcome 4 interceptions. So yeah, I mean, it was just an off day for Sam Darnold. I mean, some quarterbacks have it. I mean, Jared Goff, which we'll discuss in a few minutes, he had a horrible off day. Yeah, so I mean, it does happen to the even to the the best of quarterbacks. Not saying that Sam Darnold's the best quarterback, but I mean, the way he's been playing all season and from the continuation from last season, I mean, yeah, he's up there in the second echelons of quarterbacks, and he just had an off day.
Yeah. Again, yeah, we will talk about Jared Goff in a second. The Eagles game, controversy in that game. But yeah. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from Sam Darnold. Like you said, and this happened last year. He was doing great. Played the Rams, I think, towards the end of the regular season, didn't do too well, and then it kind of led into the playoffs. So people make fun of him. He can't win in big games. I don't think that's true. He had a bad game. All right, that's it. Now the biggest game in the AFC was the Chiefs and the Broncos. 19-22, the Chiefs lose to the Broncos. Patty Mahomes, 276 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception. Kareem Hunt, 13 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, your guy, Travis Kelce, had 9 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown. and Tyquan Thornton had one reception for 61 yards. Bo Nix, 24 for 37, 295. RJ Harvey, 11 carries for 30 yards, three receptions for 20 yards. Jaleel McLaughlin, 6 carries for 19 yards and touchdown. Troy Franklin, 84 receiving yards. Pat Surtain, 82 receiving yards. And Cortland Sutton, 59 receiving yards. Now, the Broncos offense looked like they could actually do something other than it just being in the fourth quarter. And their defense was swarming to Pat Mahomes. They did not let him get comfortable in that pocket at all. Um, huge win for the Broncos. And the Chiefs are 5-5, and they're going against the Colts this upcoming week. This is crazy to say for them. A must win for the Colts, or sorry, a must win for the Chiefs, because if they want to keep any of their playoff hopes alive, they better win this game because they have no tiebreakers right now. With everybody that they're in the hunt with, the Jags, they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost now to the Broncos in their own the division. They lost to the Chargers as well. So, are we about to live in a reality where Pat Mahomes doesn't even make the playoffs? I think so, and I'm kind of all here for it. Travis, you can go plan your fucking honeymoon earlier, you dumb bitch. I don't really care. Uh, so yeah, just go home early. I don't really care. I would be fine because I would like seeing some different teams in the playoffs other than these guys over and over and over again.
Um, well, we never expected the Chiefs to be a 500 team. So that's shocker number one. The fact that the Denver Broncos defense actually showed up and that pass rush showed up, making Mahomes very uncomfortable in the pocket, is something we've been waiting for all season long from them. Because from the beginning of the season, you was praising the Broncos defense as one of the best defenses in the league, and there was only spurts of saying it, and now we actually finally got to see it. Um, and again, you know, and I did say this with them announcing their engagement at the beginning of this before the season started. I said this is going to come back to hurt them, and right now it's hurting them because they're too busy on focusing on their perfect wedding and that perfect honeymoon and all that shit you should have done during the off season.
hmm
And so, I mean, hopefully this will be Travis Kelsey's last season because honestly, I'm sick of him. And I mean, honestly, I believe, and this is just my belief. I'm not saying that it's true or anything. I believe Pat Mahomes is sick of Travis Kelsey as well. That's just my belief.
Yeah, you don't see the chemistry like they used to have.
Exactly.
Um, I mean, on the Broncos defense, they have been playing good this year. It's the offense that has not really played well enough. Only in the fourth quarter. Again, you would know that. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to make fun of it, but you would know that with how bad their offense was until the fourth quarter. I understand they
I mean,
played the
there was
Raiders
also
2 weeks ago.
there was also games where their defense just didn't look like their defense. We've even
Yeah, like
said that. I
what?
was like, is the defense really that good, or because we was wondering. I mean, we was wondering about some of the moves that they made if they actually made the right moves, and now it's turning out that actually did make the right moves.
Yeah, they just waited until they played the Chiefs and said, look at this. We didn't make the right moves. We are smart." And now the second biggest game in the NFC, it was Sunday Night Football. Lions and Eagles. What a poop game this was. 14 to 37, or sorry, it was 9 to 16. Jared Goff went 14 to 37, 255, one touchdown, one interception. Jahmyr Gibbs had 107 receiving yards, 39 rushing yards. Jameson Williams had 88 receiving yards and touchdown. Amon Ra only 2 catches for 42 yards. Jalen Hurts went 14 28, 145, 10 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. Saquon had 83 rushing yards. A.J. Brown, 7 receptions for 49 yards. Jahan Dotson was the second leading receiver at 2 receptions for 43 yards. And big news there in Eagle Land, offensive tackle Lane Johnson left the game with a Liz Frank injury and will be out this upcoming week against the Cowboys. Um, Eagles got lucky that the Lions got called for a pass interference call. That was more of an offensive pass interference call on A.J. Brown. Refs didn't see it that way, called it on the Lions.
It shouldn't have
Eagles
been a pass
ended up
interference
paying up the
call on
play.
either side. Period.
hmm
It was
Um,
battling for the ball.
It was a terrible call. I'm not saying that it costed the Lions the game because they had a lot of opportunities to win this game. I'm not saying that that one play created the outcome of the game, but really the Lions could have gotten the ball back, and who knows, they could have scored to possibly win the game. With Dan Campbell, he probably would have went for two, knowing him. They were 0 for 5 on fourth downs. Again, Eagles defense really did show up. Once again, it's a great defense. At the beginning of the year, we were like, "Wow, this defense is really not what we thought it was going to be." They made a lot of moves in the trade deadline, which is really stringing up their defense, and it's coming out really, really well. Jalen Carter's staying out of trouble. He's just playing football, which as he should. He's a great player when he does that. Jalen Phillips was a great acquisition. They're flying all over the place. Um, Again, the Eagles team, I'm telling you, I don't believe in them at all, really, though. I don't think they can keep winning 9 to 16. I just really don't. And now that they're playing the Cowboys with the high-powered offense, uh, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think that the Cowboys kind of have a chance of winning this game against the Eagles next week. That's what I'm going to say.
Um, yeah, this was one of those games where by the end of the third quarter, I turned the damn game off because Golf looked horrible. He couldn't hit the side. He couldn't hit the water, throwing it off of a damn bridge. I mean, there was passes that just normal, simple, everyday passes that with him and Brown do, he was missing. There was passes that was he looked like he couldn't get no elevation on the ball. That was getting knocked down at the line, or he was throwing. You could tell that he really missed Sam Laporta, especially in the red zone. I'm not gonna lie, I missed him too in my fantasy league.
Me too.
Jameer Gibbs, I mean, he's just a beast. But when you're on the goal line, you can't keep running the same plays 3 times in a row and expect the same results. I mean, there should have been some passing, play action or something. But to me, it looked like Dan Campbell didn't have really any confidence in Jared Goff, which is why they was running a lot of screens and or just handing the ball off to Jameer Gibbs or Dave Montgomery. Because, like I said, Jared Goff couldn't hit water from the side of a boat. He was missing badly, which made the Eagles defense look. I mean, look like a top-notch defense. And yes, I agree that pass interference call was a bullshit call. It definitely wasn't defensive pass interference. Some say it should have been called offensive pass interference. To me, from what I seen, They was hand checking all the way down, just battling. I mean, yeah, it was a horrible call.
Do you have anything on the Eagles or just again? I don't think they can keep winning this go 8, 9, 9 to 16. Their offense needs to start doing something.
I
They can't
mean,
keep sleeping.
if they keep getting those bullshit calls, of course they're gonna keep winning.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong on that one. Um, yeah, I forgot. All right, we're gonna just do quickly our top five AFC and NFC teams right now. In the AFC, for me, it was a toss up, but number one, I have to go with the Broncos, then the Patriots, then Colts. Um, I trust the QB more with the Broncos and the Patriots over the Colts, for obvious reasons. Um, I'm going with the. I understand that I just said the Bills are very inconsistent, but I don't see them missing the playoffs. I see them getting in, and I will go with the Ravens as my number five. I understand that the record doesn't say it, but they have a lot. They again, we all know they have their pieces back. Uh, and again, my Steelers, they are not one of the top five best teams in the AFC. I don't care what the record says, what they're number one in the AFC North. I don't care. I know that we're not. That's okay. I'm interested to hear your top five AFC teams.
well, number one, I got the Patriots, and yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. Two, I got the Colts. Yeah, yeah, I said it. The Colts, I got to set
Hmm.
two. I got the Bills hold it down three. Broncos four, and for my 15, even though you don't have faith in them, I kind of do. I'm going with your Steelers.
Wow. I mean, I appreciate it, but we ain't we aren't playing like a top five NFL team or a top five AFC team right now.
Yeah, but
But
when they need to win, they win.
hopefully, I mean, we have a tough stretch coming up. We go against the Bears and the Lions coming up, so some tough games, and the Ravens a few times. So we're getting into our tough part of our schedule. So I mean, we'll see about that one. Um, NFC teams. I'm going Rams, easy number one again. I think that number one team in the NFL, never mind just the NFC. Um, man, I guess the Eagles I'll put at two. I mean, again, their record's good, but I don't think they're that good of a team. But I can't deny that again, they do just keep winning, you know? Um, so I'll go Philly at two. I'll go Seattle three. Again, I don't think that one loss really, I'm not counting that against them. How about Chicago at number four? I'll go with the Chicago Bears at number four with how they're playing with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go five teams from the NFC West in there. I'll go with the San Francisco 49ers. freaking Brock Purdy back, and they looked really, really good against the Cardinals. Um, yeah, could I put Green Bay? Yeah, but I do not trust Jordan Love at all. Could I put Detroit? Yes, but they're kind of struggling right now. Tampa Bay, same thing. Carolina's a sleeper team, yes, but those are my top five. I went Rams, Eagles, Seattle, Chicago, and San Francisco.
Okay. I'm going Rams at number one, Seattle at number two, I'm going to Bears at number three, Eagles number four, and Bucks at number five.
Who at number five? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The Bucks.
Well, the Bucks.
Your guy Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you think if the Eagles and Bears played this coming week that the Eagles would lose?
Yes, I think so.
Wow. I like that list. Do you think Rams are the best team in the NFL right now?
Ooh.
I think that they are the most balanced team in the NFL because they're obviously getting it done defensively because we saw it last week, and Stafford is getting it done offensively.
Um, it's a good question. I would have to say yes, but not by much over the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots are really good, really well coached, very similar teams in that respect. But in my opinion, if they played right now, I think I would pick the Rams over them a little bit. Okay, do you want to go into the pick'ems quick, or do you want to go to your dummy of the week quick?
Uh, let's go to my dummy of the week.
Okay, I've been excited. You teased me this morning or this afternoon when I sent you the list of what we're gonna do today. And I've been waiting ever since I woke up. I've been excited. I know who it's about. I know who it involves, and this guy. I think I've gone on rants about him on this podcast before. Who haven't I gone on rants about? I'll let you introduce who it's about. And what the hell this idiot said.
So hold on. I need to steal your dummy of the week sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
Dummy. Yeah.
Dummy of
So
the week.
yes, this isn't a surprise. We got two dummies of the week. One by Jeff and surprisingly one by me. My dummy of the week is Kendrick Perkins, and he's my dummy of the week for his stupid ass remarks about Bronny James. Now, Jeff, I don't know if you saw this quote. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
I don't know if I want to.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to. Just because I got to get you going. So
Sure.
the quote from Kendrick Perkins is: "Bronny James is today's Michael Jordan, maybe even more skilled, but I know y'all ain't ready to hear that yet." Yes, I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. Like I said, the quote from Kendrick Perkins on Bronny James is that Bronny James is today's Michael Jordan, a little better, but we're not ready to hear that yet. Ah. First, it was the reason why Bronny James picked number 9 is because he's just like Kobe, but one better. Now we're comparing Bronny James to the greatest basketball player of all times, Michael Jordan. Um, ESPN, can you do me a favor? And yes, I'm calling ESPN out. Um, can you drug test Kendrick Perkins and then fire him, please? Where did Jeff go? Oh, there he is.
So we're saying the kid that is only in the league because of his daddy,
Yep,
the kid who got drafted because of his daddy,
yep,
the kid that should still be in college, but his poor teammates had to play with him and average way more points than him and carry him up and down the court, is in the league because of his daddy,
yep,
and is now struggling to play on the same team as his daddy because he sucks so bad.
yep.
Is better and somehow more talented than the guy that won 6 NBA championships and 2 3-peats.
And never seen a game 7 in the finals.
Nope. And his daddy couldn't do that.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, this got to be a joke.
Kendrick Perkins has
Kendrick,
been doing this for years.
Kendrick Perkins
He's been
can't be
doing
serious about this.
he's been doing it for years. I lost all respect, all credibility for him when he said Jokic has won MVP only because he's white. That is the day I stopped watching First Take. That's the day I stopped caring about what this idiot says. Because he says it to get views and get clicks and get talked about because he's irrelevant, because he was a very irrelevant basketball player.
True.
I don't take anything seriously from a guy that averaged 5 points in his career. I don't take anything seriously from a guy who got carried up and down the court by Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and James Harden. I don't take anything serious, and I mean I can go on and on. I mean Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett when he played on the Celtics, Rajon Rondo. I don't take anything seriously from a guy that didn't win anything in his NBA career. He didn't win shit. Um, he talks like his brain is about 5 years behind. Uh, you can't understand him. Um, he needs to be taken off the air. Um,
Definitely.
but ESPN won't do that because he probably brings in so many views and clicks because of I can't say that word because of stupid remarks that he makes like this. Ronnie James has accomplished nothing. Except I see clips all over the place. Oh, he did well in the G League. I don't care. He's barely playing on the NBA team that drafted him only because of his dad. If his dad was not on the Lakers, if his dad did retire, Ronnie, you would have been drafted.
He might have would have been a second round pick of anything.
He was a second round pick. They
No,
picked
no,
him 55th.
thought he was picked in the first round.
Nope, they picked him 55th overall.
Oh, then never mind.
His ass probably wouldn't even thought about going to the league.
Well, this is what kills me, and I wish I would have saved it because there was also a quote from JJ Redick on Bronny James where he was telling Bronny James, I mean, because he went like 3 consecutive plays where he refused to shoot wide open shots, and JJ Redick told him he needs to shoot the fucking ball if he's open.
Like, I
And
understand he's not a great shooter. But
which
again,
I
you're
get,
open. Shoot it.
but now you got this idiot trying to tell us that he's better than Michael Jordan. For one, he doesn't even have that killer instinct that Jordan has. He's not going to be better than Kobe because LeBron is not even better than Kobe. And everybody keep thinking, oh, well, LeBron's breaking all these records. Well, yeah, if you played, in the league since you was in kindergarten, you're going to break all those damn records. Um, yeah, he's just
He's a clown.
yes, I agree.
That is the nice way of saying it.
I just find it mind-boggling that someone could just blatantly say that. That tells me you know nothing about basketball, and you call yourself a basketball analyst.
I don't know what basketball he's analyzing, but he must be playing 2K to think that. Um,
It's it's
get that.
almost like it's almost like he's on LeBron's payroll just to talk good about his son.
And whenever LeBron retires, Bronny will last maybe another year or two in the league. Saying it now. I'm saying it now. He won't. He won't last in the league. He's only on a team because of his dad.
I agree.
So whatever. That's just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Um, better than Michael Jordan. More talented than Michael Jordan. Sure.
Yeah, I knew you would love that one.
Yeah. Love is the opposite of what I feel right now. All right, on to the pick'ems from this past week. We all did very well. Frank got 120 points. I got 110. You got 100. Um, he picked the Eagles. Me and you picked the Lions. We all picked the Cowboys, Panthers, Niners, Chargers, Patriots, Steelers, Ravens, and Texans. And we all got those right and wrong in each perspective thing. Chargers surprisingly losing bad to the fucking Jags 6-33. Um, and me and him picked the Chiefs, and you picked the Broncos. Good pick on your part there. I was very up in the air on that game. I didn't really know who to pick, but I just went with the Chiefs. Um, and me and Frank picked the Dolphins. You picked the Commanders. They lost on a game-winning field goal. Me and Frank picked the Rams. You picked the Seahawks. Again, if Sam Darnold doesn't throw those 4 interceptions, that's a different story. It's
Yep.
that outcome of the game. He picked the Vikings. We need to pick the Bears. I have no faith in JJ McCarthy. Unfortunately, I think he was a great college athlete, and the NFL isn't translating so far. Aaron James is very young in his NFL career. We will see if I am wrong or right in that statement. I picked the Buccaneers. You guys picked the Bills, and you guys were right. I just had faith in Baker, and me and Frank picked the Packers. You picked your Giants, and Frank on Monday night actually got the point total right. He got 49 points. He predicted it right. That was the score of the Cowboys
Nice.
and Raiders game. It was 49 points. Right. So now week 12, which is again crazy. It's already week 12.
I know.
Um, Bills and Texans. I'm going easy with the Bills. Think
Yeah,
they might be
Bills.
back on track. Even though this Texas defense is good, I think that the Bills are still back on track anyway. Steelers and Bears. If our defense plays like they did Sunday, we could beat them. So I'm going with the Steelers in that regard.
I've been riding your Steelers all season long, as well as the Bears, but I just got a feeling I just see it, the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, again, Rodgers is trying to push to play to go into Chicago and beat them, but I mean, we'll see. But I'm going with my Steelers. Patriots and Bengals, and definitely with the Patriots, especially with Chase being suspended like an idiot.
Yeah, Patriots.
Giants, Lions.
In my heart, I know we're going to get beat, but I can't go against my team.
All right, I'm going with Lions. Vikings and Packers. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Seahawks and Titans. Go with
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Wow. Colts, Chiefs. 50-50 split down the middle here on Pick'em on ESPN. Who do I think the NFL is going to make win this game? The Chiefs. Who do I want to win this game? The
The
Colts.
Colts.
So I'm going with the Colts.
I'm going with the NFL. I mean the Chiefs.
Jets and Ravens. Ravens.
Ravens.
Browns and Raiders. I'm going with the Browns. They are starting Shador Sanders, but that Browns defense is way too good, I think.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I think that I think that Miles Garrett might have more touchdowns than Sanders this upcoming week.
I mean, you're unleashing Max Crosby against Shador Sanders.
We'll see. Jags and Cardinals. I went with the Jags.
Jags.
Eagles and Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys.
So did I.
Again, no Lane Johnson, and actually Dak Prescott has only lost twice in his NFL career at home against a division opponent. So Eagles get offense sputtering, defense looking good, but the Cowboys they look good on Monday night. I understand they go against the Raiders, but still they beat an NFL team and it was in a convincing fashion. Falcons and Saints. I went with the Falcons, even though they're going with a lot of injuries. They gotta give the ball to Bijan Robinson a minimum of 30 times, and they will win this game.
I went with the Saints.
Bucks and Rams. Again, Rams best team in the
Rams.
NFL. Baker. I'm sorry, I'm going with the Rams. And the Panthers and Niners on the Monday Night Football. I went with the Niners. Sneaky game though, but I'll go with the Niners. Are you going with the Panthers?
Oh, Niners. I was thinking about it, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I go with a point total of 54. I think this is going to be a very high scoring game, in my opinion. I think if Bryce Young can do just a little bit of what he did on Sunday, this game will be a great game.
I went with 50. I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it. We got our two dummies out of the way. Went through the week, and then the pickles.
All right, so let's remember we still have our sponsor, Doobie. For you late night gamers, that need that energy. Make sure you get some Doobie energy drinks or energy powder. They got a new flavor out. I think it's called Blue Raz. I'm not 100% sure. I know I've seen an email about it. So they are coming out with more and more flavors. Like I said, if you order, you use a discount code Drop Zone, and you get 10% off. And we also have a merch store, Zone Elite Wear, where you can catch all your Drop Zone merchandise as well as everyday merchandise as well. And we are still running a special. If you order over $35, use a Drop Zone code, and you'll get 15% off your total order. I don't have anything else.
I don't either.
So until next week, see everybody later. Have fun.
Have a good week, everybody.